Which team is actually winning the race in the electric car world? It's not just Tesla anymore. In China, where electric vehicles are all the rage, homegrown brands are giving Tesla a run for its money. So which company is going against Tesla? With prices slashed by up to 30%, Tesla is losing its grip on the market. Without those discounts, sales might have even dipped last year. BYD, the underdog backed by Warren Buffett, taking on Tesla in China. Last year, BYD zoomed past with 2.4 million new car registrations, grabbing 11% of the market. That's like going from zero to hero in record time. BYD's monthly rankings? Always at the top. In 2023 alone, they made over 3 million eco-friendly rides, leaving Tesla in the dust with just 1.84 million cars. Talk about a power move. Back in the day, Elon Musk shrugged off BYD, thinking they were no match. Chinese car makers like BYD are now the big shots, stealing the spotlight from foreign brands. And their cars? Top-notch. With eyes set on global domination, they're not just a threat in China anymore. They're shaking up the whole world of wheels. BYD, or Build Your Dreams, started small in 1995, making batteries for cell phones. Fast forward to today, and they're a big deal. They've conquered 40% of China's electric car market and are spreading their wings worldwide. In 2023, they exported a whopping 242,765 vehicles to 70 countries. And get this, they're eyeing places like Australia, Japan, Europe, and even the US. Experts think they'll crack the top 5 car makers by 2026. Back in the 90s, they were all about affordable batteries, selling to big names like Motorola and Nokia. Then, in 2005, they dipped their toes into cars, starting with the F3. It wasn't exactly a speedster like Formula One cars, more like a run-of-the-mill ride with Mitsubishi engines. Fast forward to 2010, and they launched their first all-electric car, the E6. It was a step forward, but it still had room to improve. Back in the day, taxis liked their electric cars because they got perks for using them, but regular folks weren't too keen on buying BYD rides. Throughout the 2010s, their car division didn't really take off. Sales ticked up slowly and profits were just okay. In fact, in 2018 and 2019, sales were actually dropping. It was touch and go for a while. But then things started to change. In 2019, they rolled out some snazzy new models like the Tang and the Han, designed by top-notch German designers. Suddenly people were like, hey, these cars look pretty cool. That got folks interested. In 2022, BYD decided to ditch making regular gas cars and focus on electric and hybrid ones. Most of their rides are aimed at everyday folks, which means they sell a lot. Plus, they're not going all in on electric cars all at once. Warren Buffett's company, Berkshire Hathaway, has their back. Buffett even bought a chunk of BYD back in 2008, showing he believed in their potential, maybe even for the US market. He admitted he's not a tech expert and wasn't sure about China's EV market, but he saw something special in Wang Chuanfu, BYD's founder, so he bet big, dropping a cool $250 million into the company. Buffett was mostly keen on BYD's battery biz, which has boomed alongside their car sales. Since Buffett's first investment, BYD's stock shot up a staggering 1,400%. But lately, Berkshire Hathaway has been selling off a chunk of its BYD shares. Why the change? Well, geopolitics played a role, with concerns over Taiwan, plus Tesla sparked a fierce price war in China, hurting profits for many EV makers. But BYD's staying strong by keeping prices low. They even launched the Seagull, priced at just $11,500. That's a steal compared to other rides in its class. And their battery expertise? A game changer, making their EVs more affordable. BYD does it all: design, develop, and engineer their own batteries on a big scale. BYD isn't just making batteries for themselves, they're going global. They're big shots in the lithium iron phosphate battery game, known for being cheaper and super tough. Even big names like Tesla, Toyota, and Kia buy batteries from them. Their Blade battery, launched in 2020, is getting rave reviews for being super safe and packing a lot of power. They've cracked the code on cramming more energy into batteries, which is a big deal for everyone in the biz. But BYD isn't stopping at cars. They're into trucks, buses, and more. BYD has something for everyone, with a bunch of different models to choose from. The Dynasty series starts with a Chin, priced at around $14,000, and goes all the way up to the Tang, which starts at about $34,000. But let's talk about the Han. It's the one that really got people talking when it hit the roads in July 2020. Now, if you're more into cool vibes, the Ocean series might be your thing. It's got the Seagull, a compact car starting at $10,000, and the Seal sedan starting at $22,000. And when they launched the Dolphin and Seal, they made sure to offer lots of colors to appeal to young families and women. Fancy a touch of luxury? BYD's got you covered with their sub-brands. Denza, their collaboration with Mercedes-Benz, introduced some sweet rides before shaking things up in 2021. Now they're rolling out the D9 minivan and the N7 and N8 SUVs. Then there's Yangwang, targeting high rollers with the U9 supercar and the U8 luxury SUV. And they're making waves with the Bao 5. Their first ride launched just last year. Yangwang is BYD's way of stepping into the luxury car game. These cars are either super huge or sporty, which is a big change from their usual lineup. Most car companies try to make a flashy car that makes people go wow and boost the brand's image. Being China's top electric car maker, BYD wants to take its cars worldwide. Around 2018 and 2019, things slowed down in the Chinese market, and all the car companies realized that they had to branch out to survive. In Thailand, they went from nobody to the top dog in just a year. And they're aiming to double their sales in the Philippines and Singapore this year. Watch out, world, BYD's on the move. BYD's expanding its horizons. They've set foot in Mexico and have their sights set on Japan next. Right now, they're introducing the Dolphin in Mexico and making waves in South America, where Tesla isn't as big. But they're not stopping there. Europe's next on their list. Last year, they sold 13,000 cars there, and even have their very own massive cargo ship that can haul 7,000 vehicles. They just shipped out 3,000 cars to Germany on its maiden voyage. This move fits perfectly with BYD's plan to do as much as they can in-house, which helps keep costs down. Will BYD bring its rides to the US? They're definitely eyeing the American market, waiting for the right moment to jump in. Both the US and Europe offer big profits, so they gotta compete there to stay on top worldwide. But there's a catch: tariffs. Right now, Chinese cars get hit with a 25% tax plus a 2.5% tariff when they come into the US. Despite the losses, BYD's still looking to expand, and they've got plans to build a factory in Mexico, a move that could open doors to the North American market. And China's already the top car supplier to Mexico, so it's only natural they start building cars there too. They're already scouting locations and could start shipping cars to the US by 2025. Bottom line, China's getting closer and closer to our market, and you might see more and more Chinese cars rolling onto American roads in the next few years. US lawmakers are a bit worried though. They think Chinese car makers might swarm the market and hurt local car companies. You can bet they're keeping an eye on things and chatting with Mexican officials about it. It's a big deal for the US, especially since the Auto Workers Union just scored super high wages and benefits. In Australia, Chinese car makers like BYD are doing pretty well. They jumped into the market in 2022 and already snagged 14% of the EV scene. Tesla's still top dog with 53%, but they've been around since 2014. What about the other Chinese car companies? They're on fire. They're super competitive and could do really well outside of China, depending on trade stuff. Honestly, if there aren't any trade barriers, they might just beat out other car companies worldwide. They're that good. But China's getting really big in the car world, and it's hard to slow down their ambitions. Chinese automakers have figured out how to make awesome cars fast. They're cheaper, and some folks say they're even better than other cars out there. That's got the rest of the car industry worried. China can make enough cars to fill half of the world's demand. Half! With their skills, low costs, and top-notch designs, you gotta wonder what's gonna stop them from taking over. So do you think they will withstand the competition? Do let us know in the comments below. Until next time, see you all.